3 to 4 storm systems back-to-back Phoenix already at 108 degrees, shattering every March record in the books. And a pneumonia front just slammed Milwaukee down 16 degrees in under 1 hour. That is 3 separate weather emergencies happening simultaneously, and at least one of them is pointed straight at your neighborhood this week. This is Tom, and we are breaking all of it down. We are covering Monday, March 30th, all the way through the first week of April, more than 100 cities, every region. Stick around the 4-minute mark. We zero in on the one system that has every forecaster on edge right now. Here is the big picture. All weekend, the jet stream was parked way up in Canada, basically sitting on the bench doing nothing, which is exactly why most of the country had beautiful, calm Sunday weather. Starting Monday evening, that jet stream takes a sharp dip south. Think of it like a water slide tilting the moment it does. Storms start launching over the Rockies and sliding right into the plains and Midwest. Forecasters are tracking 3, maybe 4 completely separate storm systems firing between now and April 7th or 8th. That means a legitimate severe weather risk every single day of the work week ahead. That is not normal. Monday and Tuesday are the warm-up act. Storm Prediction Center has a level 1 out of 5 risk already posted for the Midwest and Great Lakes Monday evening, isolated large hail and damaging winds possible after dark. Monday night storm zone southeastern Minnesota, northeastern Iowa, most of Wisconsin, lower Michigan, northern Illinois, northern Indiana, and northwest Ohio. Watch the 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. window. These overnight storms sneak up on people fast. A woman in Oshkosh told us last storm season she went to bed with clear skies and woke up to a tree on her car. That is exactly the overnight setup we are dealing with Monday night. Wind gusts to 60 miles per hour and hail are both on the table Monday night. Secure outdoor furniture. Trash cans, anything that can go airborne, get all that locked down before you go to bed tonight. Tuesday. March 31st is actually the more dangerous of the 2 opening days. The cold front sweeps east across the Mississippi Valley and Great Lakes, dragging wider and more organized severe weather right along with it. Scattered to numerous thunderstorms, likely from southwestern lower Michigan, south through the Missouri Ozarks and northern Arkansas, Red River Valley, Oklahoma, and North Texas. Isolated but nasty supercells remain in play during Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday is where things get tricky. A second storm claws over the Rockies on April 1st, and if it organizes in Kansas, Nebraska, or Oklahoma by Wednesday afternoon. This thing could flip into a full outbreak. That is the actual word forecasters are using right now, outbreak. Wednesday threat zone runs from St. Louis south toward Wichita Falls and Abilene, Texas. Damaging winds, large hail, and a handful of tornadoes are all on the table. Thursday, that same storm rolls east in a weakened state, but do not let your guard down. Isolated severe weather remains possible from the Great Lakes all the way into the deep south. Every single setup deserves your respect. Then we hit Friday, and this is where it gets real serious. A larger, more powerful trough digs deep into the western U.S. and ejects east toward the plains. The Friday setup makes you sit up straight in your chair. Oklahoma, Kansas, the Texas Panhandle, and the southern plains are dead in the crosshairs Friday through Saturday. Long-track tornadoes, baseball-size hail, and straight-line winds well over 60 miles per hour are all legitimate possibilities with that storm. What makes Friday extra dangerous is the moisture. Gulf dew points already loading into the low 60s that is storm fuel sitting in the tank all week, building up. Just waiting for Friday's trough to pull the trigger. Before we go city by city, let's talk about what is already happening out west. Because this situation is wild and it is directly connected to the severe weather threat building across the east this week. Phoenix, Arizona hit 108 degrees today. That is a March record. Flat out. The heat dome has pushed temperatures 20 to 25 degrees above normal from Arizona through California, Nevada, and New Mexico. This is a heat siege. Phoenix has logged 5 straight days above 100 degrees, the earliest such stretch in the city's recorded history. Tucson at 105. Sacramento at 90 with fire weather warnings posted. Las Vegas hitting 95 degrees in late March. There's a retired school teacher in Albuquerque who calls us every summer to check conditions. This week she called in March because at 85 degrees with humidity below 10%, it already felt like August out there. Red flag fire warnings active across Arizona, New Mexico, California, Oklahoma, and Nebraska simultaneously, 5 states at once. The Nebraska Marill fire has already burned 640,000 acres and is still not fully contained right now. That warm western air mass does not stay put. It slides east into the plains and southeast all week. The heat feeds the Gulf moisture. The moisture feeds the storms. Everything in this pattern connects to everything else. Now flip to the other extreme. The Great Lakes are dealing with a pneumonia front tonight. Cold air pouring straight off Lake Michigan, which is sitting at only 37 degrees. That is barely above ice water right now. Milwaukee was at nearly 68 degrees. Then that backdoor cold front hit and the temperature dropped 16 degrees in under 1 hour. Dense fog rolled in off the lake. Winds cranked to 30 to 40 miles per hour. Think about what 16 degrees in 1 hour feels like if you stepped outside in a t-shirt. You would feel that cold hit you like an actual wall. Now imagine that while driving on a bridge getting coated with ice. Cold air slamming in from the north. Warm Gulf moisture pushing up from the south. That collision zone is exactly where the most violent thunderstorms set up this week. When those two air masses meet, something has to give. If you live in a mobile home from the southern plains through the Mississippi Valley or into the Mid-South, this is your personal heads up. When tornado watches go up this week, get out and get to a sturdy building. A mobile home gives you almost zero protection from even a weak EF1 tornado. Make your shelter plan today on a calm Monday morning, not Wednesday night, when sirens are already going off and you're trying to think straight in the dark. All right, let's go city by city, moving fast, covering every region, starting in the northeast and working our way south and west. Listen closely for your town. Boston at 50 degrees. Cold northeast winds making it feel more like February. New York City at 55 with scattered thunder showers already snarling traffic on the bridges. Philadelphia at 58, storm clouds stacking up to the west all afternoon. Pittsburgh at 55, heavy rain with urban flooding watches posted across several low-lying neighborhoods. Baltimore at 58, wet roads making the evening commute a real mess. Annapolis dealing with dense bay fog and rough conditions on the Chesapeake tonight. New England, Hartford, Connecticut at 52, drizzle and gray all day. Same in Providence, Rhode Island. Burlington, Vermont at 38 with sleet and freezing rain making roads slippery through Tuesday morning. Portland, Maine at 40, cold rain mixed with sleet overnight. Moving south, Charlotte, North Carolina at 70 with heavy lightning rounds rolling through by late afternoon. Raleigh at 72, soil's already saturated, so flash flooding risk is elevated today. That red clay just cannot absorb any more right now. Atlanta, Georgia at 74, isolated pop-up storms, the kind that show up on radar out of nowhere and dump 2 inches in 20 minutes. Augusta at 76 with heavy showers. Savannah at 78, so muggy you could practically chew the air. Deep South Birmingham, Alabama at 72 with afternoon storm risk. Montgomery at 75. Mobile, Alabama at 78, fog-reduced coastal visibility near zero at sunrise. The humidity there right now is thick enough to wear like an actual jacket. Right here at the 4-minute mark before finishing the City Roundup. I need to come back to Friday. I want you to truly understand what is shaping up out west right now. This is important. Please stay with me. The Trough Driving Friday system is one of the deepest upper-level features forecasters have seen targeting the southern plains this early in April in several years. The Storm Prediction Center is already flagging it in extended outlooks. If you have family in Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, or anywhere across Kansas and the Texas Panhandle, call them this week. Make sure they know what is coming Friday and make sure they have a shelter plan locked in. Tennessee, Nashville at 68 under active tornado monitoring sirens could go off tonight. Memphis at 72 with fast-moving squall lines tracking straight through the metro. Louisville, Kentucky at 68, storms turning severe by this evening. Mississippi, Jackson at 75 with fast-moving thunderstorms and flash flooding risk. Gulfport at 77 with rough surf and Gulf fog. New Orleans, Louisiana at 80. The heat index outside feels closer to 92 right now. That humidity is no joke. Baton Rouge at 82 with explosive afternoon convection. Shreveport at 78 with heavy rain and local flood risk. Houston, Texas at 85. Stepping outside today is like walking into a sauna that somebody left running all weekend long. Texas Dallas at 78 with extreme thunderstorms and flash flooding already reported in some neighborhoods. Austin at 82 with heat thunderstorms appearing with almost no warning. San Antonio at 84, drought conditions and active fire weather risk across the brush country. Oklahoma and Southern Plains. Oklahoma City at 68 under red flag warnings. Northwest winds gusting to 40 miles per hour. Any fire out there right now will spread faster than a truck can drive. Tulsa at 65 tornado sirens on standby. Missouri St. Louis at 60 atmosphere extremely unstable and the cap could break tonight. Kansas City at 58 with dark skies building to the west. Springfield at 62 with heavy rain already overwhelming storm drains across parts of the city. Ohio Valley Columbus. Ohio at 58 with an SPC flagged tornado threat from cells firing along the cold front this afternoon. Cleveland at 50 with Lake Erie gusts and small hail possible. Cincinnati at 60, utilities on standby for power outages tonight. Indiana and Illinois Indianapolis at 58 with severe storms approaching from the west. Chicago down to 42 with brutal 40 mile per hour. Lake Michigan gusts. One north side retired steelworker said it felt like January just came back to mess with everybody. Upper Midwest Minneapolis at 35 with a snow squall possible overnight, while tornadoes are possible hundreds of miles south. That temperature contrast across 500 miles is exactly what fuels the most violent storms. Duluth at 28, Fargo at 30, ice and bitter cold. Iowa and Nebraska Des Moines at 48 with screaming northwest winds. Omaha at 55 with dust-cutting visibility on I-80. Farmers know that look. The sky goes tan and brown in the afternoon and it is time to pull over and wait it out. Mountain States Denver at 65 with 30-mile-per-hour gusts and blowing dust on the Front Range. Cheyenne, Wyoming at 45 with 50-mile-per-hour winds genuinely dangerous for semi-trucks on I-25 and I-80 right now. Check conditions before attempting those routes. Northwest Salt Lake City at 68 with mudslide advisories in canyon areas as snowpack melts fast. Boise, Idaho at 72, one of the quieter spots today. Portland at 58 with classic northwest drizzle. Seattle at 52, misty and gray. Spokane at 48. Southwest Fire Zone Phoenix at 108, Tucson at 105, El Paso at 92, Las Vegas at 95. Outside in Phoenix for more than 20 minutes without water and shade right now, you are playing with heat stroke. That is not an exaggeration at all. New Mexico and California interior, Albuquerque at 85 with humidity below 10% and a critical fire weather alert in effect. Santa Fe at 78, just as dry. Sacramento at 90, Fresno at 92, straining the power grid. Los Angeles at 85 with early season heat. California coast and Pacific Northwest San Diego at 80, breezy and beautiful. San Francisco at 70, the most comfortable city in the West today. No question. Portland and Eugene at 55 to 58 with on and off Pacific drizzle. Seattle at 52, gray and damp. South Atlantic coast, Richmond, Virginia at 62 with gusty squalls. Virginia Beach at 65, coastal wind overnight. Charleston, South Carolina at 75, sunshine and sea breeze, one of the nicer spots on the East Coast today. Jacksonville, Florida at 82, warm Gulf air. Florida, Miami at 85, dangerously high UV today. Orlando at 88, guaranteed afternoon lightning by 3 p.m. That is not a maybe. Tampa at 86, brilliant morning but stay off the water after 2 p.m. Trust us on that one. Closing out the city roundup, Anchorage, Alaska at 32 with black ice on roads. Fairbanks at 15 degrees, brutal cold and ice fog. Honolulu, Hawaii at 82 with steady trade winds just about perfect. Maui at 80, ideal beach weather all day. All right, City Roundup is done. Let's pull back out to the big picture. By April 9th and 10th, models show Gulf moisture rebuilding even stronger than what we are seeing this week. Storm season has fully kicked the door open. Rainfall totals through mid-April could stack up to several inches across the central and eastern U.S. Genuinely great news for drought country. But that much rain in an active storm pattern almost always comes wrapped in thunder, hail, and tornadoes. The relief has teeth. Temperature outlook for the first week of April well above average across the south, southeast, Appalachians, Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast. closer to normal for the northern plains and Pacific Northwest. That warm pool in the east keeps the moisture engine running all week. Fire weather update even after the heat dome weakens. Arizona, New Mexico, and California stay dangerously dry for days. The fuel load right now is as bad as it gets for late March. Be careful with anything that can spark. Your action plan for this week. Tonight through Monday, secure anything outside that can become a projectile. Know your county name. Tornado warnings go out by county, not city. And charge your devices right now before the power has any chance to go out. Tuesday through Wednesday, work out a daytime shelter plan before the storms arrive. If a tornado watch goes up at the office or while picking up grandkids, know where you're going before it happens. Decide today, not under pressure. Thursday through Friday, check the SPC Outlook every morning at 6 a.m. If a Day 1 enhanced or moderate risk gets posted for your area Thursday night, do not shrug it off. That is the forecasting community telling you conditions are dangerous and widespread. Great Lakes folks tonight, avoid bridges and overpasses after dark if you can help it. Freezing rain looks like a wet road, but underneath it is pure glass. Keep a blanket. Jumper cables, ice scraper, and flashlight in your car this entire week. Out west in the heat dome, check on elderly neighbors and anyone without reliable air conditioning today. Heat stroke warning signs are confusion, hot and dry skin, and a person who has stopped sweating. If you see those signs, call 911 immediately without waiting. Flood safety this week. 6 inches of moving water can knock an adult off their feet. 2 feet carries most vehicles right off a road. Turn around. Do not drown. Every year people lose their lives at crossings they were certain were shallow enough. If somebody you know lives in Oklahoma, Kansas, or the Texas Panhandle, drop this video in their messages or share it on Facebook. Your neighbors need to see Friday's forecast. That is just how folks look out for each other around here. If this forecast is helpful to you, go ahead and share it with one person in your life who lives in the storm zone this week. That one share could actually matter to somebody. It does not cost you anything except 30 seconds. Let's bring it all the way back home. 3 to 4 storm systems in 7 days. Phoenix at 108 degrees, a March record that may never be broken. Milwaukee dropping 16 degrees in under 1 hour off a 37-degree lake. The Morill fire in Nebraska, 640,000 acres and still burning. And the worst system of this entire week has not even formed yet. It arrives Friday. The fuel is loaded. The atmosphere is primed. That trough just needs to pull the trigger. This is Tom. Keep this forecast closed this week. Share it with the people you care about in the storm zones. Stay weather aware every single day because this week, the weather is absolutely not giving anybody a free pass. We will see you tomorrow.